In the midst of the ancient and sacred city of Elvenstone, an unparalleled chaos reigned. Rival elven factions, each drunk on ambitions and grudges, clashed violently in their quest for supremacy. The city, once a haven of eternal beauty and wisdom, now bore the scars of war, its alabaster walls cracked, its verdant gardens trampled. Buildings that once stood as testaments to elven craftsmanship and magic were now engulfed in flames or reduced to rubble. Amid the fires of conflict, a young warrior named Caelum emerged as a beacon of hope. Barely in his 20s, Caelum possessed a rare blend of tactical intelligence and heartfelt compassion, a combination that made him equally beloved and resented. Recognizable by the distinctive silver pendant he wore, an heirloom from his mother, a revered healer, he had a vision of unity that transcended bloodlines and grudges. News of Caelum's prowess on the battlefield and his acts of mercy spread like wildfire. In one instance, he saved an injured soldier from an opposing faction, risking his own life. Such acts earned him the nickname the Peacemaker, although many doubted his idealism. The more cynical voices in Elvenstone whispered that such mercy would be the death of him. As Caelum moved with his unit through the devastated streets, he couldn't shake a growing unease. The factions had fought over the control of the sacred city for decades, and now he wondered if the true enemy lay within. Secret councils and deceptive alliances hinted at betrayals weaving through both sides. Who could be trusted in such treacherous times? Shadows seemed to whisper his name, and eyes, once familiar, now regarded him with suspicion. Amidst a momentary ceasefire negotiated for the Festival of Ancients, an old elven ritual that honored their forebears, Caelum devised a bold plan. He proposed a council, comprising representatives from each faction, to broker a genuine peace. The festival's sacred grounds, untouched by blood since time immemorial, would serve as the setting. His plan was met with both hope and cynicism, but the factions grudgingly agreed, desperate for any solution amid the endless bloodshed. As the council members assembled under the ancient, sprawling canopy of the elder trees, an almost palpable tension filled the air. Just as Caelum stood to speak, an arrow zipped through the air, narrowly missing him and embedding itself in the ornate wood of the council table. Pandemonium ensued. Fighters from both sides drew weapons, and the sacred grounds that had seen centuries of peace were now under the shadow of violence. Caelum's resolve was tested as never before. He raised his hand, his voice booming like a clarion call over the chaos. "Stop! This is what the true enemy wants," he cried, his voice laden with a mixture of fury and desperation. For a moment, time seemed to halt. His words sliced through the madness, compelling everyone to drop their weapons. In that breathless pause, he revealed what he had surmised. The arrow was not from either faction. A third party, long concealed in the shadows, sought to perpetuate the war to weaken Elvenstone and seize control. The revelation stunned both factions into silence. Leaders exchanged wary glances and uncertain murmurs. Caelum seized the moment. "Our enemy thrives on our division. To save Elvenstone, we must unite or perish." The gravity of his words settled over the crowd. One by one, representatives of the factions pledged their support to hunt down the hidden force betraying them all. United by a common purpose, they drove out the lurking enemy, finally bringing an end to the ceaseless conflict. Caelum's reputation as the Peacemaker now solidified. He didn't bask in glory, but instead worked tirelessly to rebuild the sacred city. Unity had indeed come at a cost, the cost of his innocence.